Tonight, the FBI is leading a new investigation into the most high-profile hack in Twitter history. Some accounts of its most famous users, including former President Barack Obama, former Vice President Joe Biden, Jeff Bezos, and Kanye West, were taken over by cybercriminals yesterday. Unidentified hackers used the accounts to ask people to send them Bitcoin, promising to double their money, scamming them out of over $100,000. Twitter says it's cooperating with the FBI and is taking steps to ensure this doesn't happen again, calling the incident a coordinated social engineering attack by people who successfully targeted some of our employees with access to internal systems.
The social engineer is going to try and gain access to a system or money or data by trying to leverage some exploit in a person, whether that is their susceptibility to being bribed or trying to gain access to their credentials by phishing them over email.
Some senators now demanding answers. Republican Josh Hawley sending this letter to Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, asking whether President Trump's account is under threat. Democrat Richard Blumenthal saying this hack bodes ill for November balloting.
This is, I think, just a really good close call. They could have, through controlling the Twitter accounts of major CEOs, they could have tanked the stock prices of those companies. They could have used the politician accounts to create a worldwide panic.
A wake-up call with less than 4 months till Election Day. Jolene Kent, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.